Okay, so last night I was using one of these guys to record bats on my back deck. Um, I know that in my town we have quite a bit of big brown bat and eastern red bat. Not sure what else is around at this time of year in the end of June. Um, Pretty much a beginner at this kind of stuff. I recorded um, using Audacity, so I'm not using any bat software. Um, the recording frequency could have been going up to like 190 kilohertz, but just to make the file sizes a little smaller, I cut that in half. And so far as I know, I don't really need to be going any higher in pitch. Um, I could, I haven't really gotten much in the way of bat action um, underneath, above 50. So I could cut file size further. When I was first setting this up and starting this recording, there was a lot of background noise because I was putting a box over the computer just in case it rained overnight. Since I did leave the computer out overnight, the microphone is also in a little Tupperware with some cover on it to try to reduce the chance of harm to the equipment if it rained, even though it wasn't supposed to rain last night. But you can see, even as I was setting it up, there already started to be some bat call notes. Like most of the bat call notes that I get, they sort of bottom out around 25 kilohertz. Um, so I am going to just get down here in the tags and then hit tab. Just like 5 minutes later, there's another set. You can see this echo blur on the right-hand side of each of these notes. Because I'm so close to the wall of my house, we're going to have a lot of echo blur. You can see that there's a little bit of this. I assume that this is a feeding buzz type of thing. I'm not really sure about it, but I assume that this is big brown bat search phase calls. This is the type of call note that I see the most of. Um, so just click back on this uh, track. Okay. So later on, there's a lot more call notes, but later on, I get this series of notes, and this is some of the stuff that I first started noticing while recording birds. When I record birds, I only get up to 22 kilohertz. Um, and just to show what things look like a little bit closer to how they appear when I'm doing my bird recordings that kind of end right here. I'm not seeing anything above. I kept seeing these. At first I thought they were flying squirrel, but apparently these glissades are consistently happening at the time of year the bats are active, and usually associated with some echolocation type calls. But I don't think these are echolocative calls. I think this is, I don't know, some kind of a song. I wish that I knew. And these are often associated with um, some of these type of call notes, which are much lower than the normal search phase calls. At first, I was trying to turn those into hoary bats or something, um, but I think that these are just different noises that big brown bats make. Um, so that little glissade series, which is audible to the human ear, um, it just sounds like as that happens, um, there immediately picks up these search phase calls. So I assume it's something that's done in flight. This is also associated with some of these scratchy noises that I think these are bat noises. It sounds quite a lot like I've heard bats that have been handled at bat presentations, like animal rehabilitators and stuff, and the scratchy noises they make when they're handled sounds pretty similar. Um, So that's a bit of what we've got going on. Here a little while later, we have another search phase series, and then this search starts to go wildly higher and higher and higher. And if you look really close, if we zoom in on the time scale, these these search phase notes suddenly start to get high, and they just continuously inch higher. And then they're also getting faster. The gaps in between them get really short, and then we have this buzz, which I assume is the moment of really close attack. And then the notes kind of um, change back to the original pattern for a little while there. Um, so that's, I assume, just a normal foraging series. Um, I chose to highlight this example as well. We're now an hour into the recording. The recording started around 10:30 on the 29th. We got these notes. Um, each one has its little echo being close to the wall. But imagine me on my bat recorder. I would see nothing until these notes. All these normal search phase calls are too high pitched for my other mic. So I would just get these um, coming down into the range that my microphone would pick up. So just seeing this sort of different set of notes and how that fits in among search phase calls is interesting to me from my context of how I've been searching for it. We have these notes here that are kind of high pitched. Um, I don't really know what to make of them. They don't seem to have the same curve as the normal search phase calls. And then we have a bunch of call notes that have sort of that, um, they don't have that sort of curve to them. They look like little straight downs. Um, I don't know if these have a different function, what those are really about. Um, I'm going to zoom back out um, a bit more. I guess I should go even more. We have here a bunch of scratchy notes, which I've always thought were associated with bats because they often came, were associated with notes that were disappearing into the ultrasonic range. But this set of notes doesn't have the search phase call type, and it just goes on and on and on with this. Like it does like this little burst, and then another little burst continuously for what do we start here at 24 minutes and 7 seconds in and end at 25 minutes and 52 seconds. So for about a minute and a half, it's doing these notes, which are higher than the normal. They're not shaped like search phase. Oh, it's more than that. Oh yeah, and here's a part where it gets into a really, really buzzy, scratchy um, part, which does get somewhat audible here at the end, although still quite high pitched. Um, what is this? Do people know what kind of calls these are? Yeah, it went on for minutes. Then we get back to some normal search phase stuff. Oops, lost my tabs here. Okay, yeah, that's what I wanted to highlight. Thank you very much. See if I can turn off my Zoom recording.